coming up short, fucking with Too Short. Too short, bitch. Coming up short. Too short, too short. Bitches keep coming up short when they fucking.
So I haven't done a vlog in a while, and I wanted to catch up with some stuff. So today I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. One being believing in lifts and believing that you can succeed. And I'm not really, people have told me I'm motivational, I guess, because my lifts are bigger than some other people's lifts, and for that purpose I'm happy I can motivate you. But in terms of saying things to motivate people, I don't know if I'm necessarily the best for that. But I will say that believing in your lifts is something very, very important. I want to go over that, but I also want to quickly go over something funny, which was taking a brief hiatus from my If It Fits Your Macros, which I did this past weekend. Yeah, Hades wants to say hi really quickly. Hades, what's up? Look. Who's that? Anyways, so believing in your lifts, I think, is something I think I've gotten more and more in tune with, trying to believe in my lifts and understanding the importance that this can have on your lifting and getting strong. For me, for a while my deadlifts have always been just way higher, and it's just with my deadlifts, it's like I just look at a bar that's heavily loaded and my deadlifts go up. My programming for my deadlifts and my squats is usually kind of similar, but for reasons that I blame mainly on anatomical purposes, and probably a lack of believing in my squats and having as much confidence in my squatting as my deadlifts, they just haven't quite ended up in the same range of numbers that I would expect to have given where my deadlift is at. So for those of you who've never seen any of my videos, my deadlift, my best I've ever done so far is in the gym is 675, and my best squat ever is only 485. So 200 pound difference is quite a bit. It's not unheard of. There's a lot of people who are pretty high level who have a range. It's usually not quite that big, but it's definitely bigger than I would like it to be. And I feel it's kind of annoying because I work a lot on my squat, and I just haven't quite been able to dial in specific things. I have a major ankle mobility issue that I've gone to see a couple people to help me with, and haven't been able to really figure that out because I think it's an anatomical issue with my bones just grinding on bone. So because of that, I guess I give myself an excuse to be like, okay, well, my squat's not that good, but I have this ankle issue and blah blah blah. And to some extent it's true, but I should still be able to progress in the lift because under competition rules I can still do the lift properly. I still can get white lights. I guess I have this kind of mental block, and I guess I get kind of intimidated by weights, and I don't have that belief in myself, and specifically that lift is a squat, because whenever I go to deadlift, I never think that I won't lift the weight when I'm pulling. Like it doesn't happen. I'm always like, I'm getting this, and when I don't get it, yeah, it kind of sucks, but it doesn't happen very often. But with squats, the weight gets up to a level I'm like, it seems pretty tough. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, and I have that in the back of my head, and I'll give it 110%, but sometimes it just doesn't work out the way I want it to, and I feel like that just having that belief that I can't do things holds me back, and I'm sure holds a lot of other people back, because if you have a program and you see a weight in your program and you're like, shit, I don't think I can do that, there's kind of two ways to look at it. One way is that you're being a pussy, and you probably can do it, because if you have a good program, you should be able to do the lift. But sometimes you're having a bad day, off day, or whatever, and it might not be your day. And then the other way of looking at it is that you given the program and the fact that it's working in the past, you know you probably can hit it, but you still have that doubt in your mind and that lack of belief that you can hit that number and that specific lift. So I guess what I'm trying to say with all that is that, you know, you probably have your pet lift or lift that you know um, always goes really well, always progresses really well, and you have those other lifts that are kind of, they just suck. Like you go in the gym and you don't really enjoy. You might not. It might not even be that you don't enjoy doing them. You just don't enjoy the fact that the progress on it is just so slow, and you know it might be a programming issue. You might have tons of confidence in yourself. You might just be on a poor program, or you might have programmed incorrectly, whatever. But having a belief in, you know, and in those lifts is very, very important. You know, you just you gotta try and believe in yourself and believe that you can make magic happen and make things happen that, you know, other people might not even know about. Just wanted to throw in a couple videos on my deadlifts. This is the first deadlift of my cycle. Just a nice and easy triple, 545 for 3. Felt pretty good. Didn't feel amazing, but you know, got the job done. Definitely wasn't a grind or anything, but would have liked a little bit more speed. This day was really hard because after this before this I did some squats very light, and then after this I did speed squats, which is right here. This is my sixth set of 4 with 445. The speed reduced drastically here, but it was still pretty good. I thought I need to keep the bar closer to me, definitely, but these felt good. I want to talk a little bit more about taking a break from your macros. So this past weekend, I just went on a nice trip with my friends. I've talked about this before in my newsletter, but you know, if you go really, really hard, let yourself. If you go on vacation, you know, depending on the length, this was only 4 days, 3 days actually. You know, let yourself go. So I got a couple pictures of the food I ate that I think you'll enjoy. But it's important though, you know, if you are leaning out and you get yourself to an appropriate amount of leanness, don't be one of those guys who passes up a good time just because you don't want to gain 2 pounds of water. It's ridiculous. Allow yourself to let go and reward yourself for all the hard work you put in. So coming up next, these are the photos of the food that I ate for my breakfast. This is one from a couple years ago and one from this year. So this is me from a couple years ago when I got down to around 210. I was super, super lean. You can see my breakfast there was a bunch of bacon, cookies, dino sours, and some other stuff. This time it was cookies, 500 grams of bacon, and chocolate almonds and Pabst. It was good.